Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Aurora Online Classes. Dear students, today I am with a new lesson for you, and this lesson is from your Footprints Without Foot, and this is the lesson number 5, Footprints Without Feet. Both the lesson and the book are same. And Footprints Without Feet is a science fiction. It is written by H.G. Wells, means Herbert George Wells. He is known for his science fictions. He was a great writer of England. And being a great writer of England, he wrote some famous books like The Time Machine, then The Island of Dr. Moreau, and The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is a very popular, very famous science fiction by H.G. Wells, Herbert George Wells. And this lesson, Footprints Without Feet, is from H.G. Wells' book, that is The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is a novel, and this lesson, Footprints Without Feet, is an extract from The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Actually, this story tells us about a very great scientist, extraordinary scientist, a brilliant scientist whose name was Griffin. Of course, he was a great scientist, he was a brilliant scientist, but actually, and this Griffin discovered that this human body could be transparent, this human body could be invisible. This is the discovery of a great scientist, Griffin. So Griffin discovered that this human body could be transparent and invisible. He did experiment after experiment, and he really did great experiments, but unfortunately he did not use the power of invisibility. I would say he did not use the power of invisibility for the welfare of the people. He misused it. He had the power of being invisible, and when he discovered this formula to be transparent and to be invisible, he himself became invisible. This was a great power that he had discovered. This was really a great discovery. But he did not use such a great discovery for the welfare of the people, for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of humanity. He did not use it. He misused it. So he misused, means Griffin misused his power of invisibility to commit theft. To commit theft. Apart from committing theft, he used it to rob the people of. He used this power to create troubles for the people. He used this power to create problems for the people. He used this power to terrorize the people, to threaten the people. So he went against the existing law. He created chaos and confusion. He created problems. He created disturbance for the people. And he created something which was against the law. Committing theft, chori karna in Hindi, is against law. Robbing someone of something is also against the law. creating problems, beating others, creating chaos. This is against the law of the existing country, and he worked against the law, so he became a lawless person. Now Griffin had the power of being invisible. He could he could he could be invisible, but he did not use this invisibility for the welfare, for the good of the people, for the good of the society, for the good of humanity. He used it to threaten the people. He used it to rob the people. He used it to terrorize the people. He used it to beat the people like that. He used for theft like that. So actually, not only that, he made illegal entries in his stores and shops, and he stole things from them. He committed burglary in a clergyman's house, in Iping, like that. So this lesson tells us, it gives us a lesson that misuse of science and its great discoveries can make even a brilliant scientist like Griffin a monster and a threatening, lawless person. A lawless person is he who breaks the law of the country. A lawless person is he who goes against the law. A lawless person is he who violates the law, जो कानून को तोड़ता है. One who works, one who does something against the law. He did not remain a law-abiding person, rather than he became a lawless person. Let us come to know, it's a science fiction. Let us go for the summary of the story. Point-wise summary. Muddy imprints. I am giving you the detailed explanation, the detailed summary of this lesson. Listen to me properly. Muddy imprints. Imprints means impressions. Footmarks. पैरों की निशानी, चिन्ह in Hindi. The two boys, the story begins like this. The two boys were highly surprised. The two boys were highly surprised, and they saw muddy imprints on the steps of a house in London. And they were the fresh footmarks of a barefooted man. And this barefooted man was Griffin, the great scientist. So those two boys saw the fresh footprints or the fresh footmarks of a barefooted man. The boys followed those footmarks, those footprints, and the impressions got fainter and fainter, and finally the impressions, the footmarks disappeared, and these two boys followed the footmarks. Actually, these footmarks were found on the steps of a house in London, and actually these footmarks were these footmarks were of Griffin, who was invisible, and they were muddy because he waded through mud. Second is mystery of footmarks. Whose footmarks were it? The mystery of footmarks was quite simple. The boys were following a scientist, and the scientist was Griffin. He had just discovered how to make the human body transparent. Now point number 3. Griffin was a great scientist. Griffin, great but eccentric scientist. He was really very eccentric, unpredictable. He was short-tempered too. Griffin was a great scientist. He carried out many experiments to prove that human body could become invisible. In the end, he gulped some rare drugs, some medicines, dawaiyan. So in the end, he swallowed some rare drugs, and his body became transparent. He was a lawless person. He was living in a rented house. His landlord disliked him, and his landlord also tried to eject him, remove him from his house. That's why this Griffin got very angry, and this Griffin was short-tempered. He wanted to take revenge. So in revenge, Griffin set his house where he was living as a renter. So he set his house on fire. So this is the destructive activity of Griffin. Griffin was living in a rented house. He carried out experiment after experiment, and he was totally engrossed, totally involved, totally absorbed in making experiment. Actually, he had a quarrel with the landlord. The landlord of the house did not like him. So since he had a fight with the landlord, and landlord wanted him to leave this house, so in revenge he set his house, means Griffin set his house on fire. Now point number 4, unseen when naked. Griffin had to remove all his clothes if he wanted to be unseen by the people. Actually, he became a homeless wanderer. Now he set the landlord's house on a fire, and thereafter he had no money, he had no house to live in, so he became a wanderer. And then what happened? Actually, I would say that if he put on clothes, he would be visible, but without clothes he would be invisible. So in order to remain invisible, he had to remain without clothes, and he had to face the weather condition, he had to face the bitter cold. So he had to remain naked just to be invisible, and when he would put on clothes, he would be visible. Now, point number 5, in a big London store, the air was bitterly cold. Griffin was naked. He was experiencing the bitter cold. So instead of walking about the streets, he entered a London store. And he entered a London store for warmth. And there he enjoyed the pleasure of clothes and food freely. He entered the London store where he got clothes to keep him warmth, and he also enjoyed the pleasure of different foods there. And he fitted himself out with warm clothes, and then he became fully dressed up with shoes. He became fully dressed up with shoes and overcoat, and then he put a large hat on his head. He came out of the London store, so he was well dressed, and in that store he had food stuff of different kinds. He enjoyed that because he was hungry. He got food. He had no clothes. He got clothes from the London store. There he had also cold meat. He enjoyed coffee. He enjoyed sweets. He enjoyed wine from that grocery store. So what did he enjoy? He had cold meat and coffee, sweets and wine from the grocery store. He slept on a pile of quilts, and what happened? He did not wake up until the assistants of that grocery store arrived next morning. When the assistants of that grocery store came near, now this man Griffin he panicked and began to run, and those staff of the grocery store started chasing him. So but he could become invisible only he was totally naked. So he took off. What did it when the staff of the grocery store started chasing him, he took off all his clothes and he became naked, and once he became naked, he became invisible. So once he became naked in the chill January air. Then what happened? Then in a Drury Lane, he hurried to Drury Lane, the center. This Drury Lane was the center of the theater world. he found in that lane, he found a shop he was searching for. He came upstairs invisible. He was invisible because he had taken off all his clothes. And he came out of the shop wearing bandages round his forehead, dark glasses, false nose, and side whiskers, and a large hat. He got all these things from the center of the theater, from the Drury Lane. Then what happened? In the Drury Lane, he attacked a shopkeeper and robbed him of all the money he could find from there. So he robbed this shopkeeper. Now, so he had bandages, he had whiskers, he had a large hat, he had an overcoat, isn't it? So, and it was a chilly winter, and then he took train, and from there he reached Iping. Iping is a village. Arrival in Iping village. Griffin wanted to get away from the crowded London. He came to the village Iping, and in Iping village he booked 2 rooms in a local inn. Inn means it is a rest house. Sarai. Arrival of a stranger of such a strange appearance. His appearance was very strange because he was wearing overcoat. He had the bandages around his head, around his faces. Apart from this, he had whiskers on his cheeks. He had a large hat on his. He had a large hat on his head. All these things made his look very strange. And he came to Iping. He booked a room there. Mrs. Hall was the owner of that inn, inn, and she wanted to. Mrs. Hall wanted to be friendly with her guest Griffin. He told that he didn't want to be disturbed. Actually, he got 2 rooms. He booked 2 rooms there in that inn, Mrs. Hall's inn, and Mrs. Hall was the owner, and she wanted to be friendly with Griffin, but Griffin wanted to be alone, and Griffin told Mrs. Hall not to disturb her. So he wanted to be all alone. She thought that her guest was an eccentric scientist. She couldn't mind his strange habits and irritable temper. Griffin's case finished. He told a lie that he was expecting a check at any moment. Clergyman burglary. Burgle means to steal, robbery, chori karna. Clergyman means priest, padri. A strange episode occurred. A clergyman and his wife were awakened by the noises in the study very early in the morning. They came downstairs and heard the chink of money being taken from the desk. With a poker in his hand, the clergyman flung open the door. He shouted, "Surrender!" He was surprised to see the room empty. They looked under the desk, behind the curtains, and even up the chimney. No one was there. And who went there to rob money? Who went there to steal money? Griffin was invisible. He committed a burglary. He committed theft at the priest's house, at the clergyman's house. No one was there. They found that the desk was open and money was missing. They were highly surprised. Both the couples were highly surprised, and they couldn't understand anything. Point number 9. Mrs. Hall's furniture shows a strange behavior. The landlord and his wife, Mrs. Hall, woke up very early. They found Griffin's door wide open. Usually it was shut and locked. Miss Griffin's room was usually shut and locked. They peeped around. Both Mr. Hall and Mrs. Hall peeped around but found nobody. They found Griffin's clothes and bandages lying about all around. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to her ear. and then a hat jumped up and dashed itself into her face, and then the chair also started moving in air. They turned away in fear, and the chair pushed them both out of the room. Then the door was slammed and locked after that, and Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs and started crying. So she got a blow from there, and she was sure that the room was haunted by spirits. Mrs. Hall realized that, she believed that this house was haunted by the spirits, by the ghosts. Even the villagers, even the villagers suspected that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. When the news of burglary at the clergyman house became known to everyone, everyone doubted Griffin's hand in it. This suspicion grew stronger when Griffin suddenly showed some ready cash. He had no cash before a few days, and this was the time when he showed some cash. Invisible man showed himself. Mrs. Hall went to Griffin's room. He was there. She asked what he was doing to her chair upstairs. She also asked how he entered a locked room. The scientist lost his temper. He became very angry, and he became so furious, so angry, and cried, "I'll show you what I was doing there. I'll show you." Suddenly he threw away all the bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and even nose. He threw everything. He took out everything. Bandages, whiskers, spectacles, even more. And he became headless. He had no head. And the horrified men in the bar were staring at a headless man. He became headless. Without all these things, he became headless. Now, point number 11, encounter with Constable Jaffers. The police constable, there was a police constable. He had been called, he had been informed. He arrived now. He was totally surprised. When Jaffers, the constable, when he came, he was surprised to find that he was to arrest a man without a head. There followed a wonderful scene there. The scientist, means the Griffin, started throwing his clothes one by one. He was becoming more and more invisible as he started throwing off one garment after other. Finally, the man became invisible. And then he had fight with the people. He had fight with the constable Jaffers. Some people who tried to hold him, and the people who tried to hold Griffin, they were beaten up by the unseen blows, and the blows was unseen because the man was, Griffin was invisible. So since he became invisible, he has started giving blows from nowhere, and the people who tried to hold Griffin, they got blows, they got a strong blows from him, and nobody knew from where they are getting the blows. In the end, Jaffers was knocked unconscious. He had a fight with Griffin, and then Griffin knocked him unconscious, so he fell. Jaffers, the constable, fell unconscious. Nervous and excited people started crying, "Hold him, hold him." And now Griffin was invisible and free now. No one knew where to lay hands on him. So this is the story, and this story tells us that he had fight with Jaffers, he had fight with the people. Innocent people were beaten by him. He also committed theft when he was without food, when he was without clothes. He entered the London store. He entered the Drury Lane in order to get food and warm clothes for himself. Then he came to Iping village. He booked 2 rooms there for himself, isn't it? But actually, though he discovered the power of invisibility, but he did not use this power of invisibility for the good of the society, for the welfare of the society. He used it to trouble people. He used it to threaten people. He used it to terrorize people. He used it for committing theft. So he became a lawless person. Dear students, this is the end of the lesson. Footprints without feet. Thank you very much. That's all for today. Thank you.